this next section, you'll learn how to add those finishing touches, that pizzazz, to your reports. You'll learn how to use the Style Expert and how to create special fields. You'll also learn about special text object features. You'll learn how to work with lines and boxes and how to add pictures to your reports. Let's begin by taking a look at the Style Expert. The Style Expert can help us to format our report. Before you format any report using the Style Expert, you should always save. And remember, I saved at the end of the last section. I'm going to use the Format menu to select Report Style Expert. There's also a tool on the supplemental toolbar that allows you to invoke the Report Style Expert. I'm going to go ahead and select Report Style Expert and also point out down at the bottom of the screen, this is the tool that we could have used to invoke the Report Style Expert. Now I'm given a warning right now that it's not possible to undo this command. Would I like to do it anyways? This is why it's very important that you've saved your report first. If the Style Expert does something that you don't like, you can always close your report without saving and re-retrieve the saved copy. Since I've just saved, I'm going to go ahead and take the chance and click Yes. The Report Style Expert dialog appears. It allows me to select from several predefined styles. If I want to get an idea of what a particular style looks like, I can click to select that style in the list, and I can see what that style is going to look like. When I've picked a particular style that looks good to me, then I can go ahead and click OK to accept the application of that style to my report. Notice that that style was immediately applied to my report, and I can get a look at how it affects the report. This is a case where you'd probably want to go up to the zoom factor, and from the zoom control, set it to whole page. This gives you an overall look of how that formatting affects us. If I don't like that formatting, remember, the only way that I could go back to what I had is by closing the report without saving it and reopening it. But what I also can do is I can run the Report Style Expert again and try something different. So I'm going to go ahead and select the Report Style Expert from the supplemental toolbar. Again, I get the same warning, and I'm going to go ahead and click Yes, that it's okay. Now let's try another format. I'm going to pick the shading format. I've selected the shading format, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. If we take a look, the format has changed based upon what we just selected, or the format we just selected. I can zoom in and take a better look and see that shading in effect. Now notice in this particular case, I have some negative effects of the application of that style. I could now go into Design View or work right here within Preview to handle the problems that occurred during that style change. If I've really given up on using the Report Style Expert, I can go ahead, as I said, close the report and reopen it. Let's take a look at this process. I'm going to close the report and opt not to save changes to it. And now I'm going to use the last 4 files list to reopen that report. And you can see that I get the report back in the format that it was in the last time that I saved. Next, we're going to take a look at the process of adding special fields to your reports. Examples of special fields include things such as page numbers and also the last modification date for your report. I'm going to return to the Design tab of the report, and I've decided to place some information in the page header. Now notice right now we're already including the print date within our page header. But what if I want the last modification date, for example? Or what if I want to do something special with the page number? Well, what I need to do is bring up the fields list, so insert fields, and then I want to go to the Others tab. The Others tab contains a list of special fields. I'm going to go ahead and click the plus sign so we can see what sorts of special fields I can include. Notice the page number, the total page count, page N of M, the report title, comments, and so forth. Even things such as the file path and name. I'm going to go ahead and insert into the page footer something called the record number. The record number is going to give me the number of records that were printed in that report. I'm going to go ahead and take the record number and I'm going to place it in the page footer of my report. The record number is going to give me the number of records that are in that particular report. So I've put that within the page footer. Now what I'm going to do is add the last modification date. So I'm going to take the modification date and I'm going to drag and drop that into the page footer as well and size it a little bit larger. I'm going to scroll over to the right, and in my page footer I have my page number. I'm going to actually delete the page number and I'm going to change it so that instead of being the standard page number, it's going to be page N of M. So I'm going to place that into my page footer as well. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and preview to see how this all takes effect. Clicking preview, I'm going to return to the first page of my report, which I'm already at, which is fine. I'm going to scroll down to the footer of that page. Notice that there were 38 records on that particular page. The last modification date is 2/18/99, and if we go over to the right, this is page 1 of 1, because if you remember, our situation was that we're starting our numbering again on each new city. Now I'm going to scroll back over to the left, and I'm going to move to the next page of the report. Notice that at this point, 92 records have printed. Now remember that this could be an issue because remember that we're now on page 1 of 2 for another city, but we're actually displaying the record numbers or number of records that have accumulated in total. So you have to keep these sorts of things in mind and make decisions. You could reset that or do whatever you need to do. The point is you do need to be cognizant of it. And here's page 2 of 2. Now that we've learned how to create special fields,